Verse 6. Shall not these take up a parable against him, and taunt a proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his?
And we know who that is. That's the so-called white man. Earth been given to the hand of the wicked. The so-called white man, increaseth that is not his. Go ahead.
Like it. Not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Verse 7.
So the scriptures say how long? How long are we going to have to deal with this oppression? How long are people going to have to deal with this continual offense from our oppressors? How long are we going to be locked up in these prisons? How long are we going to be? And they acting like they leaving that up to us. But what has the prison done? It has brought many riches to the so-called white man with his dread, which is a net. You know what I mean? You know, he casts his net on us. You know what I mean? And what happens? Because we're snares. We walk in the city is like a snare. We're walking on the battlements. I forget how it's written, but it's in Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 13. Nevertheless, you know, we are falling victim to the so-called white man's traps and snares, right? So scripture is saying how long? That's what we're supposed to be mourning and crying out. That's what the watchmen are going to be asking. That's the judgment. You know what I mean? That's your better judgment. Not to sit up here and conform. Your better judgment is ask, man, how long we going to have to deal with this, man? This is why we're supposed to endure. You know what I mean? Because there's no other options out there, man. So like, go ahead, bro.
Verse 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee?
So that's going to be that parable. That's us having this book of remembrance open to us. Hey, and we're going to start bringing out the prophecies. You know, what's natural to happen. Purity, you know. How we're going to purify this land. And he's going to destroy our oppressors. You know. The ones who are putting us in such situations to where we are without, you know. And it's a snowball effect. You know, our people just, you know, you look at each other, but the Lord is willing to stand. Hey, you can't judge him. The Lord can make him stand like that. He can run into the prophets tomorrow, and he made whole. His every wit will be made whole. You know what I mean? Because what? You know, the prophets out there standing in the place of righteousness and order, and then that brother might hear that word, but you don't have nothing for the so-called white man. You don't have no type of judgment for the so-called white man in your mind. That's how people deliver continuously their enemy. It's like you go ahead.
Vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them.
That's right. Everything that y'all have, hey, it's gonna be taken. You know, everybody gonna be. And I had a dream that I was in a jewelry store, man, and man, jewelry was all on the ground. Lights were out in the store. The doors was wide open, and and the people it was one white dude had his shirt on tucked in. He picked up the jewelry and set it on the counter. That's how they gonna feel. You know, if it was just a simple situation, the white man would, hey, I'm taking this too. It's just one store. But it was obviously saying that this is a whole situation. You know what I mean? This is something. This is huge, and he want his kingdom back, man. Say, no, we gotta keep order. Come on, now. You know, jewelry was just. I'm talking about $3,000, $5,000 worth of jewelry. Just, you know, I mean, $5,000 pieces, single pieces on the ground. The reason I know this is because I'm, you know, I know about that type of stuff. You know, working in this wicked system. You know, but this is a familiar story. Guess what? You know, there's jewelry everywhere, man. So-called white man, only one. There's one white man picking it up, sitting it on the counter, like, you know, let's not steal, y'all. Man, listen, this place is done. You know? So what does it say? Because thou hast spoiled many nations. That's why. You know? The Lord's judgment is like a ring. It's going to come back, man. You see? Because thou hast spoiled many nations. All the remnant of thy people shall spoil thee because of men's blood and for violence of the land of the city and all that dwell therein. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness, to his house, that he may set his nest on high. And who is doing that? The so-called white man. He's professing himself to be God, right? It says that he may deliver from the power, so he might be delivered from the power of evil. He think that, he's going to deliver himself from his judgment. With all his weapons of warfare, with all his bunkers and whatnot. Hey, the missile's gonna find you. You know what I mean? You can't hide. That Lord created the smith. Okay? His indignation that he has, it's gonna be a perfect hatred, man. Indignation means perfect hatred. It's perfect, man. So that means, nothing's gonna fall to the ground, man.
Yeah. It's the book of James, chapter 4. Verse 5. Do ye think that the scripture saith in vain, the spirit that dwelleth in us lusteth to envy? But he giveth more grace, wherefore he saith, God resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble. Submit yourselves, therefore, to Yahweh. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Verse 8. Draw nigh unto Yahweh, and he will draw nigh unto you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. Verse 9, be afflicted and mourn. Weep. Let your laughter be turned into mourning, and your joy into heaviness. Yeah, so the Lord is going to shed his grace upon the humble, not the proud.
That's right.
Right? A lot of our brothers and sisters are proud. Right? That's why you say, hey, brother, come hear the word. And they keep it moving. Right? They chunk the deuce. Right? They're proud. Man, I'm too good to hear that Bible, man. I ain't worried about that white man's book.
Look at that.
Right?
Hey, that's the epitome of pride.
That's proud. Yeah, that's proud. That's proud. Right? Then it goes deeper, and it tells you, right? Resist the devil.
Resist the
and he
devil.
shall flee from you.
You don't flee.
Right? The thing is, our brothers don't want to resist the devil. They want to conform.
That's right.
Give in to the devil. Right? Give in to the flesh. Man, my flesh is telling me to do this, man. I don't do this, man. If my body telling me to do it, man, it must be right, It must be right. You know what I'm saying? Why would the Lord put me in this body if I ain't supposed to do these things,
So they trying to say that the Most High makes mistakes.
I had a dude tell me, I told you about this dude in comments on my man. My problem is, why would God create us and then blame us for committing sin? Why would he even create us? That don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? I had a dude tell me that.
Who was that replies against the house? Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? Then it tells you, then it goes deeper to tell you, purify your hearts, you double-minded. Right? So that goes for a lot of brothers and sisters, especially these so-called Christians. Right? They say, I believe in God, I love God. Right? But on the other hand, I don't got to keep the law. I don't got to keep the commandments. That don't matter. I got faith. You double-minded.
Yeah.
Purify your heart, because your heart is pure. You won't even think about the law. Won't be a grievous to you.
See, we don't want you to keep bringing forth calves and oxen and bullocks. He wants you to change.
Then it tells you, be afflicted. Mourn. Weep. Turn your laughters into sorrows.
That's
right. We want to be out here and live it up, man. I'm out here in the hood. It don't even matter, man. I'm gonna make the best out of it. Life gave me lemons. I'm gonna make lemonade.
Come on,
right?
They try to. I'm gonna rise to the occasion. That's pride, man. The Lord is striking you, man.
What would you do if you had a child and you punish your child? You send him to the room, go sit on your bed.
Perfect.
Don't do nothing.
Yeah.
And you go in the room, he in there laughing it up, playing his video game, living it up. You gonna tear his ass up.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. We stricken. We in punishment. We supposed to mourn and weep and cry out to the Lord. Every time Israel was in captivity, they cried out to the Lord.
That's right.
And after a certain time period of crying out to the Lord, he raised up a prophet and got us out of that captivity. We in a captivity again, the longest captivity that we've had yet. And brothers don't want to mourn and weep. They don't know who they are, but they don't want to mourn and weep. They want to conform. How you don't know who you are? Don't want to mourn and weep. How do you look down the way and go somewhere and see a so-called white man, his son, 16 years old, he got a $50,000 car, you rode the bus to get to the mall, and you don't want to mourn and weep? That don't make sense. At some point, you gotta want to know what's going on. Stop conforming. Put the marijuana down.
Yeah.
Because that's the main source of conforming.
That's right. It's a spirit on that thing, man. You know,
Man, I just gotta get home
make
and roll this
everybody
blunt,
feel like
man.
it's all
I
right.
just gotta roll home, get home and get this blunt, and I'm gonna be good, man. I had a hard day.
Yeah.
See, you supposed to think about that hard day and wonder why it's so hard for you. Instead, you conform.
That's right. That's
And all of a
right.
sudden, you forgot what you even went through throughout the whole day.
That's right.
What's going on, brother? Want to hear the word?
I have a Bible. You have a Bible?
Yeah.
Do you know that you're an Israelite? Did you know that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are Israelites? That's why our affliction is so potent. Why we've been through slavery, right? We get murdered every day. Our people out here walking to and fro throughout the city, feeling as if they got something above their brother. What is the first thing our people say? We need to come together. We need to come together. We need to come together. But how when we already have a covetous mindset? We get Exodus chapter 20 and verse 17. So we have a covetous mindset, right? To want to envy each other.
Book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 17. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife.
You don't supposed to be having any desire towards your neighbor's wife, your brother, right? Go ahead.
Nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's.
Nor anything that is thy neighbor's. But what do? Envy one another. Hate each other. Let's get that, James. You know, we hate each other, envy each other, right? And that's the first thing our people want to do, say. That's what they say. We got to come together. And we don't want to deal with the way that we think. If I can change the way that you think, then I can change the things that you do. You know what I mean? And that's what the Most High is doing through His Word. And that's what the Most High is doing through His watchmen in these last days. This is the way that we get these things back. Now hear this. We desire to have and have not.
Book of James, chapter 4, verse 2. Ye lust and have not.
We lust for this, that, and the third, and we still ain't got it, right? We need wealth. We need to plant up the ground. We need to, get some land, right? We need to come together like the times of old, right?
Ye kill and desire to have.
We kill and desire to have. We kill each other. We desire to have. We sell drugs to each other. We take money, from each other. We try to con each other, right? Because you con somebody, they can be, hey man, that was another nation. That was another nation of people. But, we do these things to each other. Go ahead.
And cannot obtain.
And we still can't obtain. We don't have that portion in this system. Everybody else, the Chinese man, the Middle Eastern man, the Arab man, they all have a portion in this system. But we ain't got nothing. They say we African, but why those people don't champion for us? Why they don't come over here and speak for us, right? They say we all the same. Why those nations that I just spoke of, why they don't do nothing for us, man? Our oppression is very spiritual. Our oppression is very spiritual, right? And our oppression is very potent.
Ye fight in war, yet ye have not, because ye ask not.
Crips, Bloods, you ain't even got to be a part of that, and you already looking at your brother with hate in your eyes. Oh, he think he all that. Oh, he this. Oh, he that. That's why we don't have love for even the smallest of our people, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's go and get to the curses.
Yeah, Deuteronomy 28:54.
Now these are the curses that we have that's on our people. And this was only for the nation of Israel. This was only for the Lord's people who were brought out of Egypt. And guess what? In Egypt, what was Israel? Slaves. Okay? They were slaves. It was treated very, very terribly by the Egyptians, where we say that we from. Now, the Egyptians are dark people. but so are Negroes. But the Lord put a difference between them. That's why Moses was able to be considered an Egyptian. They thought he was an Egyptian, or not when they first seen him, but you know, he was able to pass as an Egyptian because he had dark skin like Egyptians, right? You see, our spirit not the same way as African people. Our spirit is not the same way, right? Let's go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15.
Look at the word, brother. You Hispanic?
Nicaraguan.
Nicaraguan, okay. So you an Israelite. You an Israelite.
Where are you?
From the tribe of Asher. I'm from.
Where are you from?
I'm American black. American black. So that means that I'm from the tribe of Judah. That you don't want to be like.
Yeah, you want to be a Judite too. You're a so-called African American.
My son is like that.
So your son is going to be the same thing you are. So it's all about.
He's gonna be better.
No. Listen. I'm saying he's going to be the same nationality. Where you say he's from?
I'm from Nicaragua. Born and raised.
Okay.
He's Nicaraguan. I'm from Ghana. Born elsewhere.
Okay. So y'all going to be a passion. You know you on the 12 tribes of Israel, man. That's what your enemies don't want to tell you. The same people that come behind you, put you in jail. You know, same people that have you in poverty to this day. Same people who murdered, killed your ancestors. So we get into the curses of the Most High God that the Most High God put on the people of Israel, right? Let's go.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15.
Put it out.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Okay, curses is a bad thing. Curse is not a good thing. All these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee if you do not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God to keep these statutes and commandments.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city, cursed shalt